Hello, good morning. ഇന്നത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ നമ്മൾ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ടു മെക്കാനിക്കൽ ആൻഡ് സിവിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് എന്നുള്ള ടോപ്പിക്കിന്റെ മോഡൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ ആണ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ നമുക്ക് പാർട്ട് 1 30 മാർക്സിന് മെക്കാനിക്കൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും ഉണ്ടാവുക. അതിൽ പാർട്ട് 1A മോഡ്യൂൾ 1 and 2 നിന്നുള്ള 3 മാർക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും. ആൻഡ് യു നീഡ് ടു ആൻസർ 4 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്. ഓക്കെ, ഓരോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനും 3 മാർക്ക് ആയിരിക്കും. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ഓരോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ വീതം നോക്കാം. First question, draw PV and TS diagram of Otto cycle and list out the processes involved. Okay, so we know that Otto cycle is what? It is a theoretical cycle of spark ignition engine. Okay, and a standard Otto cycle consists of 4 reversible processes. It is having 4 reversible processes. Heat is supplied and rejected at constant volume, and the expansion and contraction takes place adiabatically. Okay, and this figure shows the processes on pressure versus volume diagram. Okay, here the isochoric processes are vertical lines and adiabatic processes are curved lines. Okay, and we need to list out what are the processes involved. The 1-2 process is what? It is isentropic compression. It is isentropic compression. And the process 2-3 is constant volume heat addition. Okay, and the process 3-4 is isentropic expansion, and the process 4-1 is constant volume heat rejection. Okay, and in our TS diagram, this is the temperature entropy diagram. Here isentropic processes are represented as vertical lines, and heat addition and heat rejection are represented as curved lines. Okay, and in our TS diagram, this is for PV diagram, and in our TS diagram, the process 1-2 is isentropic compression. And the process 2-3 is constant volume heat addition. That is constant volume heat addition. And the process 3-4 is isentropic expansion. And the process 4-1 is constant volume heat rejection. Okay, so three big figure വരച്ചിട്ട് ഇത് എഴുതിയാൽ മതിയായിരിക്കും. ഈ പ്രോബ്ലത്തിന് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യന് you will get 3 marks. Okay, next question, define the following terms. COP, that means coefficient of performance. Next one is dew point temperature, and the third one is specific humidity. So total ഈ question 3 marks ആണ്, and each definition so 1 mark ആയിരിക്കും. Okay, so first step, that is coefficient of performance, that is COP. Okay, so the effectiveness of a refrigerator is expressed by term known as coefficient of performance. Okay, so നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് efficiency of heating or cooling device express ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന term ആണ് എന്ത് coefficient of performance എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. And it is the ratio of desired refrigerating effect to the work spent to produce the refrigerating effect. Okay, so equation ആയിട്ട് എങ്ങനെ എഴുതാൻ പറ്റും? coefficient of performance is equal to desired refrigerating effect or desired output divided by work spent in producing the refrigerating effect, that is work input. Okay, that is the definition of coefficient of performance. Our next term is dew point temperature. And what is dew point temperature? It is the temperature at which the condensation of moisture begins when the air is cooled at constant pressure. Okay, so നമുക്ക് dew point temperature എങ്ങനെ എഴുതാം? Or it is the temperature at which air becomes saturated with moisture. Saturated with moisture means the relative humidity is 100%, and the water vapor in the air begins to condense into liquid or dew at this temperature. Okay, so what it indicates? It indicates the amount of moisture content in air, and this dew point temperature is related to air temperature and relative humidity. So ഇത്രയൊക്കെ ഒരു points എഴുതി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ you will get 1 mark for dew point temperature. Okay, next term, specific humidity. Specific humidity is also known as absolute humidity or humidity ratio. It is also known as absolute humidity or humidity ratio. Okay, and it is defined as the ratio of mass of water vapor to mass of dry air in a given volume of moisture. Okay, so it is the ratio of mass of water vapor to mass of dry air in a given volume of moisture. Okay, so it usually expressed as gram per kilogram. Okay, or it is usually expressed in gram per kilogram. And what is gram per kilogram? That is gram of water vapor per kilogram of moisture. Gram of water vapor per kilogram of moist air. That is specific humidity. Okay. Next question, list out the different types of welding used. So നമുക്കറിയാം what is welding? Welding is a process of joining two metals by the application of heat. By the application of heat, we are joining two metals. Okay, and this heat for welding process can be obtained from many sources. Okay, and in each type of welding, the heat source will be different. Okay, and for forge welding, the heat source will heat will be obtained from Smith's hearth. Okay, okay, and for electrical resistance welding, the heat is provided by electric current. Okay, and in gas welding, we are using gas flames. And in thermic welding, we are using chemical reactions. Okay, and in arc welding, we are using electric arc. Okay, so for doing the welding, we need the help of a welding machine. Okay, the welding machine does what? The welding machine rises the temperature of the required portion of the work. Okay, and how it is rising the temperature of the portion? With a workpiece or an electrode like thing, we can increase the temperature of that portion. Okay, so the welding machine rises the temperature of the portion of the workpiece so that it can fuse them. Okay, and depending upon the type of heat production, welding process can be classified as electrical resistance welding, arc welding, gas welding, thermic welding, forge welding. Okay, so നമ്മളോട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിൽ ലിസ്റ്റ് ഔട്ട് എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളൂ. സോ ഇത്രയൊന്ന് എഴുതിയാൽ മതിയാവും. ഓക്കെ, how turbines are classified and give examples. Okay, this is our fourth question. and it is for 3 marks. Okay, so hydraulic turbines are mainly classified according to what? The type of energy available at the inlet, and according to direction of flow through the vanes, and head at the inlet of the turbine, and specific speed of turbine. Okay, these are the 4 main agendas for classification. Okay, so നമുക്ക് important classifications നോക്കാം. So first classification is based on type of energy at inlet, based on type of energy at inlet. Turbines are classified into impulse turbine and reaction turbine. Okay, I'm just writing T. Impulse turbine and reaction turbine. Impulse turbine example of impulse turbine is Pelton wheel turbine. Okay, Pelton wheel turbine. And for reaction turbine, the example is Francis turbine and Kaplan turbine. And next classification is based on the direction of flow through the runner. Okay, and it is based on direction of flow through a runner. Based on that, turbines are classified into 4, and first one is tangential flow turbine. Tangential flow turbine, and its example is Pelton wheel. Okay, and the next classification is radial flow turbine. Radial flow turbine, its example is Francis turbine. And the third one is axial flow turbine. Axial flow turbine, and its examples are Kaplan turbine, and one more type is propeller turbine. Okay, and the fourth classification is mixed flow turbine. The example of mixed flow turbine is modern Francis turbine. Okay, so these are the examples based on the direction of flow through runner. Okay, and next classification is based on the head at the inlet. Okay, so based on head at the inlet, turbines are classified into high head turbine, medium head turbine, and low head turbine. Okay, high head turbine, medium head turbine, and low head turbine. High head turbine എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് mainly if the head is greater than 250 meter ആണെങ്കിലാണ്, and its example is Pelton wheel turbine. And medium head turbine is used when the head is between 30 meters and 250 meters, and its example is Francis turbine. And low head turbine is used when the head is less than 30 meter, and its examples are Kaplan turbine and propeller turbine. Okay, and the fourth classification is based on specific speed. The specific speed, based on the specific speed, the turbines are classified into low specific speed turbine, medium specific speed turbine, and high specific speed turbine. Okay, and the example of low specific speed turbine is Pelton wheel turbine, and the example of medium specific speed turbine is what? Francis turbine, and the example for high specific speed turbine is Kaplan turbine. So these are the classifications of turbines, okay, or hydraulic turbines. Okay, So for your reference purpose, I have included it as a chart. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചാർട്ട് ആയിട്ട് എഴുതാം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ലിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് എഴുതാം. Okay, take a screenshot and study. Next, in part B, you have questions from module 1 and 2. Okay, so from module 1 you should answer any one full question, and from module 2 you should answer any one full question. Each question carries a mark of 8. Okay, and we can see the answers of this question. Next question, derive the efficiency of Carnot cycle. And this Carnot cycle is what? It is a thermodynamic cycle, and it consists of 4 processes. Okay, and the heat is supplied and rejected isothermally. You can see here the heat is supplied and rejected isothermally, and expansion and compression of air takes place adiabatically. Okay, so we can consider a mass of air in a cylinder, okay, inside which we are having a frictionless piston which is sliding through that cylinder. Okay, and the pressure, volume and temperature of air at the state 1B, P1, V1 and T1, and heat is supplied to this air isothermally from an external body. Okay, and the air expands at constant temperature. Okay, and the air is expanding at constant temperature T1 till the state 2 is reached. Okay, from 1 to 2 air is expanding. This process is represented by this 1, 2 in my PV diagram. Okay, during this process heat is absorbed from the hot body and an equal amount of work is done by the air. And at state 2 the source of heat is removed and air is allowed to expand adiabatically till the state 3. Okay, up to state 3 it is expanding adiabatically, and it is represented by 2, 3. Okay, and this is represented by 2, 3 in my PV diagram. Okay, and the pressure, volume and temperature at this state B written as P3, V3 and T3. And during this process 2, 3 work is done by the air utilizing internal energy. Okay, and at state 3 an external cold body is brought in contact with the cylinder, then heat is rejected isothermally to cold body at a constant temperature T3. Okay, this isothermal compression is represented by the curve 3, 4 in the PV diagram. Okay, and during this process work is done on the air and an equal amount of heat is rejected to my cold body. Okay, and at state 4 the cold body is removed and air is compressed adiabatically to initial state 1, and the PV diagram, in this PV diagram adiabatic compression process is represented by 4, 1. Okay, and during this process work is done on the air to bring it to original state. And we can write for the adiabatic expansion, or for the process 2, 3, for the adiabatic expansion we can write V3 by V2 is equal to T2 by T3 the whole raised to 1 divided by gamma minus 1. And for the adiabatic compression in the process 4, 1 we can write V4 by V1 is equal to T1 by T4 the whole raised to 1 by gamma minus 1. Since the process is isothermal, we can say that T1 is equal to T2 and T4 is equal to T3. Okay, and we can rewrite the equation, that is V4 by V1 can be written as T1 is what? T1 is equal to T2. So we can write this as T2 by T3 the whole raised to 1 by gamma minus 1. Okay, so V4 by V1 can be written as what? V3 by V1. So we can say that adiabatic expansion ratio is equal to adiabatic compression ratio. Okay. So we know that adiabatic expansion ratio is equal to adiabatic compression ratio, that is V3 by V2 is equal to V4 by V1, and again I can rearrange this to V2 by V1 is equal to V3 divided by V4. This means what? Isothermal expansion ratio is equal to isothermal compression ratio. Okay, and during the entire cycle, the heat is supplied during the process 1, 2 and rejected during the process 3, 4. So heat supplied during 1, 2. Heat supplied during the process 1, 2 can be written as P1 V1 ln V2 divided by V1. Okay, and P1 V1 is what? MRT1 into ln V2 by V1. P1 V1 can be replaced with MRT1 and ln V2 by V1. Okay, and the heat rejected during the process 3, 4 can be written as P3 V3 ln V3 divided by V4. Okay, and that can be written as MRT3 ln V3 divided by V4. And the efficiency eta can be written as heat supplied minus heat rejected divided by heat supplied. Okay, and heat supplied is what? MRT1 into ln V2 divided by V1, and heat rejected is MRT3 ln V3 by V4, and the heat supplied is again MRT1 ln V2 divided by V1. Okay, and I can replace this V3 by V4 with V2 by V1. Okay, so MRT1 ln V2 by V1 minus MRT3 ln V2 by V1 divided by MRT1 ln V2 divided by V1. And in the numerator we have MR ln V2 by V1 is common, and if I take MR V2 by V1 common, I am having in bracket T1 minus T3, and in the denominator also I am having MR ln V2 by V1 T1. Okay, and we can cancel this MR ln V2 by V1 from the numerator and the denominator, and the efficiency I am getting as T1 minus T3 divided by T1. Okay, and I can written this as 1 minus T3 by T1, that is 1 minus T3 is the temperature of cold body. T3 is the temperature of cold body, and T1 is the temperature of hot body. Okay, and this is the expression for efficiency of Carnot cycle. Next question, a Carnot engine between 500 degrees Celsius and 95 degrees Celsius. Find out the efficiency of engine. Also calculate work developed if it takes 1200 kilojoule of heat from high temperature reservoir. Okay, first in this problem we need to convert the temperature in degree Celsius to Kelvin. Okay, so the temperature of hot reservoir I am representing with the TH, and that is 500 degrees Celsius. So if I convert it into Kelvin, I am getting 773 Kelvin. And the temperature of cold reservoir can be represented with Tc, and that is equal to 95 degrees Celsius plus 273, and that is equal to 368 Kelvin. And next we need to calculate the efficiency of Carnot engine that we have derived in the previous problem, that is equal to eta, and eta is equal to 1 minus temperature of cold reservoir divided by temperature of hot reservoir. Okay, and that is equal to 1 minus temperature of cold reservoir is 368 Kelvin and temperature of hot reservoir is 773 Kelvin, and this is 1 minus 368 divided by 773 is 0.4754, and if you calculate this you will get the efficiency as 0.5246, and we can represent efficiency in percentage, and the efficiency in percentage is 52.46%. Okay, and next we need to calculate the work developed. Okay, and the work developed can be represented with the letter W, and that is equal to eta into heat from the high temperature, or the heat from the high temperature reservoir, that can be represented with the QH, and the efficiency eta is 0.5246, and the heat from the high temperature reservoir is 1200 kilojoule, and if you solve this you will get 629.5 kilojoule as the work developed.